Nevertheless, when you are confirmed to have the virus, you become the target of blame because information about your job, residence, and the places you've been to become public knowledge. Companies add more pressure by telling employees that they will hold them responsible if anything happens because they could end up having to shut down their businesses. In fact, I've heard that there are companies that keep employees who have tested positive for the virus away from the company and even fire them. While suffering from a life-and-death illness, coronavirus patients feel enormous guilt and pressure and even have to be subjected to the accusing glares of the people around them. Some confirmed patients have terrified people by sneaking out of self-isolation or quarantine facilities without permission. Of course, they deserve to be criticized, but there are far more people without symptoms who have spread the virus while minding their own business and being forced to keep working to make a living. It is our instinct for survival to fear the coronavirus and want to stay away from it. Yet we must be able to see our own faces in the faces of the confirmed patients. We can protect human dignity and our precious communities only when we can sympathize with their pain and fear. What we need now is to welcome back those who have been released from quarantine and give them warm words of comfort for the trouble they must have gone through. It could be that they fought a painful battle on our behalf because it could easily have been us. This kind of social empathy, consolation, and warm encouragement is the most important legacy that we can leave behind after the pandemic. It is also the most important spiritual legacy that we can leave not just for ourselves, but for our next generation as well. The first thought that hit me when I heard that schools would reopen was a deep concern. Considering how adults were so distrustful and critical about confirmed patients, what would happen to the children? If there were confirmed cases among children, wouldn't they become targets of bullying from other kids? And if that happened, how deeply would their feelings be hurt? And what would it be like to live in pain for the rest of their lives? How would they feel if after having grown up in this situation, they are faced with similar situations years from now? Would they think, I will be in big trouble if I am confirmed, I'll be ousted from society without question? Or will they think, this is a problem that we can overcome together? The coronavirus pandemic will be over someday and will survive. I hope that when it happens, our children will think of consideration and trust, not distrust. I hope they will choose courage instead of hatred. To make this happen, we grown-ups must support and encourage one another. I hope that even in times of disasters, such as coronavirus, we will be able to reach out, comfort one another, and say, it must be harder on you than me. The survival of relationships and trust is just as important as the survival of our lives. Mental immunity varies from person to person. Different people's resilience and ability to recover are not the same. In this time of coronavirus, those of us who are willing to reach out to hold the hands of others, even if they are slower or weaker than we are most humane, the ones with heart. And heart will save us as we go through this most difficult time. I cheer for all those out there who are struggling and working hard to make a living. I cheer for them with all my heart.